What's up, guys? So yeah, just want to do a video today on two things really. First question I want to try and answer is it a good time to buy Bitcoin? Obviously, the whole cryptocurrency market has seen a massive dump recently, and I'm sure this is just a question that's on everybody's mind. I mean, it's definitely been on my mind, and I want to try and figure that out. The second question is, should I buy ETH? ETH is basically at, almost a 50% correction at this point. And I'm sure there's a lot of questions among people like, should I buy right now, or how should I go about buying? And I'm just going to give my quick opinions on that. I mean, the ultimate reality is when it comes to asking this type of question, as we look at the Bitcoin chart here, is when the market, especially like the crypto market, crashes 50%, these are the times when it really boils down to, do you fundamentally believe in the coin? Because if you haven't done the fundamental research, if you haven't even bothered to watch a fucking YouTube video explaining what Bitcoin is or what Ethereum is or whatever, yeah, of course you're gonna fucking shit your pants when you see a correction that's almost 50%. I mean, that's just the reality. And if you're also investing in a market that's extremely volatile and everybody knows is extremely overvalued, and then you see a 50% correction that makes you shit your pants because you haven't done your research, you got to really ask yourself the hard question. So when answering that question, should I invest in Bitcoin right now? The first thing I would say straight up is do like 3 hours of research on Bitcoin. Read the white paper, read everything. Okay, watch some fucking videos. There's a lot of shit out there. Don't watch all the shilly stuff, but try and get a wide range of things, from the shilly shit to like people who are against it, and try and build your own opinion on it as to should you invest in it. Because the reality is right now, when the market's like this, you have to really, these are the times when you ask yourself, like, are you in this for the long haul? Like, are you in this to hold long term? If you are, then yeah, I mean, ultimately the answer comes out to is yes, right? You should invest in it when you have a discount like this. How do you want to go about it? Okay, this is what I'll get into quickly. Especially for beginners, I mean, the real play here is just a dollar cost average. You have to understand how much money you're willing to essentially risk or lose. Okay, if that's $1,000, then it's $1,000. If it's $10,000, it's 10,000. But make sure whatever amount that you set, that is the amount that you stick to. Okay, so that's step one. Step two is start trying to determine certain levels of support and resistance that you would be interested in making purchases at. So for example, if we look at the Bitcoin chart right now, obviously it doesn't look that great because what we've really done is we've set this high, we set a low, then we set a lower high, which was definitely a negative sign. And now obviously with the dump and then Elon news and all that shit, we've really started setting this newer lower low here. And I don't even know if this is the end yet. It kind of looks like a small triangle is forming here. Descending triangle. Let's see if we look at the hour chart. Yeah, kind of. You can kind of see that pattern building out, right? Something like this, right? So, yeah, determine where you think the certain support and resistance levels are. So for example, if you thought that this was potentially going to be a support level at this previous peak here of 42,000, which to be frank, we didn't hold, determine that level, then see if you hold it or if we hold it or not, right? If we hold it, which we didn't, here, but if we actually did, then you can make a purchase. Let's say you have $1,000 set, you can put in $100 there. And then just over time, invest $100. If it goes lower to another resistance point where, for example, here I have one set at around 34,000, which was previous resistance back here. If this is a level that you feel is a good resistance level where we can maybe build some support and then potentially go back up, invest another $100 here. This is what dollar cost averaging is. Choosing those levels, okay? Then having that amount and then investing a fraction or a percentage of that amount at certain levels. So whatever it be, $100 here, if you want to take $1,000, you can do $100 at 42, $100 at 34, and so forth, and go down. Yes, it's not going to be as profitable as buying the absolute bottom of any swing, but nobody can predict the bottom of a fucking swing, right? So just be smart about it. In another video where I go more into DCA, or dollar cost averaging, I'll also give a free sheet which you guys can use to also plan out your dollar cost averaging or your hodling, right? But so that's how I would really go about it. And that's what I'm personally doing. So I actually made a small purchase of Bitcoin here. I don't really expect this to hold, to be honest. I expect it to go down more. I definitely expect to test 30,000 again. So 30,000, I think, is that kind of strong 50% number. We've seen a few bounces off it here, so I maybe put some more in there, but I'm ready for the worst. I'm ready if it goes even to 20,000, 15,000, 10,000, and so forth, because I'm just going to make bigger purchases there, because I've already kind of planned that out in my head that I have an X amount of cash that I want to invest in this currency, and I kind of have a take profit in my brain. So that's how you want to go about it. Now quickly to go to ETH. Now ETH is a little bit different of a story, right? Because it's not as established as Bitcoin. There's obviously not nearly as much price history as well in terms of this run-up that was made. Like there's very few support and resistance happening right now. So again, if you want to ask the question, should I invest in ETH? First thing I'll tell you straight away is do 3 hours of research. Understand what ETH is. I guarantee most of the people shitting their pants here, they don't understand what ETH is, fundamentally is. What's the fundamental value of ETH? How is it going to revolutionize the world? Do that research first. Make your own conclusions. And if you are then, once you do that fundamental research, if you're fundamentally bullish on ETH, then start dollar cost averaging again, just like with Bitcoin. So for example, right now we can see on the chart, we seem to have made this previous high here of about 2,500 as support. Okay, I personally am very bullish on ETH, so for me, 2,500, even though we may not hold it, and I probably expect that we will break below it, at least for some time, I'm more than happy to make some purchase of ETH here, right? I have a set amount of money in mind that I want to personally invest into ETH, and I have a target price in my head that I want to take profits at. So buy at 2.5. You see, this is a support resistance line that I've drawn. This is another one here that I've also drawn, and I have an alert set at 2,086 if we cross it for 2,000, right? We already passed it once, and we found support, and there was previous resistance here, right? 2,000 was kind of that big psychological barrier. It's over 50% correction from the top too. So at 2,000, am I personally okay to make the investment? Yes. So I will then buy some more. And you got to do the same thing for your own opinions, okay? How high do you think ETH is going to go? If you think 10,000, okay, well then start calculating. Okay, if I invest, for example, $1,000 at 2,000 at a price of 2,000, then I can 5x. Is that worth the risk? You got to make that decision, okay? But I highly suggest, especially if you're a beginner, just a dollar cost average. It's going to be much easier than just doing one big purchase, right, at a certain level, and then when it goes below that, you're going to start shitting your pants, okay? Dollar cost average and buy at key support and resistance levels that you draw out by looking at the chart. If you want to ask any questions to me about how to actually find support and resistance, or how to even do this, or what that even means, leave a comment, all right? And I'll happily answer. Anyway, that's all I wanted to go through quickly right now. Yeah, just stay strong, Again, if you've done the research, if you're fundamentally bullish on these coins, on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is nothing. So hodl for life.